Folks, we are about 12 minutes away from starting our Michigan Reining Horse Association 2025 Super Slide presented by Bennett Family Farms LLC and Saiga Solutions. We do have plenty of bleachers open here in the main arena. Start making your way up to the arena. Let's root these guys and gals on. This should be a lot of fun. Once again, we're about 12 minutes away from starting. We'll start with the non-pro. Our first three in the non-pro will be Holly House, Kenzie Moore, and Mary Lee Gustafson. Once again, folks, come on up and fill the bleachers up here in the main arena. We will not allow any standing in the warm-up area inside the arena. No standing in the warm-up area. Trainer only. Trainer only in the warm-up area. All spectators must be sitting in the bleachers. Ella, are you on channel 5 on your radio? Do you know how to change it to 5? Folks, we're about 5 minutes away from starting our super slide. Let's fill these arena stands up and root these folks on. Come on, let's everybody come into the main arena and have a good time on a Friday night. Folks, we're about 3 minutes away from starting the super slide. Make your way into the main arena. Let's root these folks on. Should be a good time. We have seating on bleachers on both sides of the announcer stand. Let's fill this place up. Come on in, everyone. Again, we are asking that the warm-up area be kept clear except for the riders that are in the super slide and their immediate trainer. All other spectators, please be seated in the bleachers. Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the inaugural Super Slide here at the Michigan Reining Horse Association. Momentarily, we'll start with our first Super Slide class, the Non-Pro. Did want to get everyone the rules so that we're all on the same page for the Super Slide. First off, I'd like to thank our sponsors. Without them, we couldn't have this great event. Thank you to the Bennett Family Farms and Saiga Solutions. When you see those folks around the grounds, make sure to stop up and thank them. Our non-pros are going to be running for over $4,420 in prize money. Huge money. Lay it out, one shot down the main runway, drop your horse's butt, and have a good time. Here are the rules. Results and earnings are not recorded and do not count towards NRHA or MRHA lifetime earnings. Once again, the earnings do not count towards NRHA or MRHA lifetime earnings. Eligibility, open to all individuals and horses with no membership or licensing restrictions. All standard NRHA rules apply. However, there is no limit on the number of horses per rider. So once again, if you're riding a 3-year-old, you can go two-handed. All older horses are one-handed only. Just remember what all your regular NRHA rules are. They do apply. We will be doing equipment checks following every run. Exhibitors do need to go to the judges' chairs to have their equipment check done following the run. Here's your judging criteria. Each judge will start with a base score of 70. Maneuvers are scored on a -3 to +3 scale on 3 pieces of the maneuver: the approach, the stop, and the hesitate. Do not back up when you finish your run. Stop, do not back up. There are no marker penalties, so you don't need to worry about your markers. All other penalties apply. Once again, the judging criteria. The judges will start with a base score of 70. Maneuvers are scored on a -3 to +3 scale. Approach, stop, and hesitate. Do not back up. No marker penalties. All other penalties apply. Once again, we would like to welcome our judges. In Chair 1, Mr. Kelly Hedges. In Chair 2, Mr. Ben Balo. They are being assisted by Carla Rodriguez and Annette Biebelheimer. We do have a -1 draw for this class. We will run that one, and then we will drag following the -1 draw, and then we will drag every 3 draws following that. Every 3 runs, we will drag. If you could please rise and join me for the playing of our national anthem. So before we call this first rider in for our Super Slide Non-Pro class, let me ask you, Michigan Reining Horse Association, are you ready? Come on. The Michigan Midland Library is up the road. You don't have to be quiet. Are you ready? Ladies and gentlemen, the 2025 Michigan Reining Horse Association Super Slide Non-Pro class sponsored by Bennett Family Farms and Saiga Solutions. First in, draw -1, entry 456, Voodoo Boss being shown by Holly House. What do you think, crowd? What do you think? I mean, you want to influence these judges, you better scream loud for your riders. Score for Holly House and Voodoo Boss is a 145 1/2. Holly House getting us started with a great 145 1/2 mark to beat in our Super Slide Non-Pro class. Next in, draw 1 entry 499. KR Surfs Up being shown by Kenzie Moore. Kenzie Moore and KR Surfs Up. Give it up for them. Score for Kenzie Moore and KR Surfs Up is a 144. Next in our Super Slide, draw number 10, entry 429. PS Wiz and Colonel, being shown by Mary Lee Gustafson. That was Mary Lee Gustafson and PS Wiz and Colonel. Score for Mary Lee Gustafson and PS Wiz and Colonel is a 142. This next rider, I guarantee you, she's not going to get cheated. Draw number 3, entry 604, Wrangling in the Checks, being shown by Eva Smulligan. That was Eva Smulligan and Wrangling in the Checks. Just to make all of our non-pro exhibitors aware here in the Super Slide, in the event that we would have a tie at the end, we will still go by NRHA rules. The tiebreaker rules will apply, so you can decide to co-champ or they can run off at the end. Score for Eva Smulligan and Wrangling in the Checks is a 138. 138 for Eva. We're going to drag the pen. Following our drag, first it'll be draw 4, Zuri Bennett, followed by Jetson Mentor and Terry DePoy. All right, we're ready to resume here in the Super Slide non-pro class. Next in, draw for entry 449, Ms. Whiskey Trasha, shown by Zuri Bennett. That was Zuri Bennett and Miss Whiskey Trasha. Score for Zuri Bennett and Ms. Whiskey Trasha is a 137 and 1/2. Next in, draw 5 entry 443. Let's Live the Dream, being shown by Jetson Mentor. That was Jetson Mentor and Let's Live the Dream. Give it up for Jetson. While Jetson's getting her equipment checked, our tractor's making its way into the arena. Once we have drug, we'll return with Gwendolyn Rose, Ronan Leonard, and Jose Arteaga. With those 3 riders, please make their way to the warm-up pen. Score for Jetson Mentor and Let's Live the Dream is a 140. All right, as our tractor's exiting the arena, the current mark to beat in our non-pro super slide is a 145 and 1/2. I want to hear a big, big, big roar for our next exhibitor, our youngest exhibitor in the super slide at 7 years old. Next in, draw number 7, entry 489, Missy Santari, being shown by Gwendolyn Rose. Give it up for Gwendolyn. Would Ronan Leonard please report to the gate? Ronan Leonard. Score for Gwendolyn Rose and Missy Santori is a 133 1/2. Next up to come down the runway in the super slide is draw number 8 entry 632. Not a Trashy Chick, being shown by Ronan Leonard. That was Ronan Leonard and Not a Trashy Chick. Score for Ronan Leonard and Not a Trashy Chick is a 139 1/2. Next to show, draw number 9 entry 612. Smoking Buckles, being shown by Jose Alfredo Arteaga. There you go. That's what we're talking about. Give it up for Jose. While Jose is getting his equipment checked, did want to make our riders aware that we will be doing our awards and photographs following the open class for both the non-pro and open slides. Those awards will take place right here in the main arena. Score for Jose Alfredo Arteaga is a 145. We're going to head to our final drag here in our non-pro super slide. We'll have 2 left to run, which will be Lindley Joe Durbin and Paige Heiser. You know, I would love to be an exhibitor in one of these super slides. Here's your estimated payouts in our non-pro. Your estimated payouts. They're not exact until everything has been put in official. Estimated payout for the winner will be $1,414. Second place, $972. Third place, $839. Fourth place, $442. Fifth place, $397, and sixth place, $353. Some serious money. Our tractor is exiting the arena. We are still currently being led by Holly House, our first draw with a 145 and 1/2. She is trying to go wire to wire with our non-pro super slide. 145 and 1/2 is what you have to beat. We have 2 left to go. Next in, draw number 10 entry, 433. New to the mob, being shown by Lindley Joe Durbin. That was Lindley Joe Durbin and New to the Mob. Paige Heiser, you need to let it all hang out. 145 and 1/2 to beat. Score for Lindley Joe Durbin and New to the Mob is a 136. Next in is going to be our final chance to knock Holly House off of the top of the standings. Give it up for draw number 11 entry, 477 Wrangling Cash, shown by Paige Heiser. That was Paige Heiser and Wrangling Cash. Score for Paige Heiser and Wrangling Cash is a 134 and 1/2. That does complete our non-pro portion of the super slide. We are going to drag the pen and we'll return with the open super slide. Our first 3 to run will be Katie Rose, Peter Nelson, and Keith Cedia. Should be exciting. I do need Katie Rose, Peter Nelson, and Keith Cedia to the warm-up, please. As our tractors exiting the arena, momentarily we will begin with our open superside class. I did want to make all our exhibitors aware we did have 3 late scratches. Draw 2, draw 4, and draw 11 all are scratches. So riders, please get to the warm-up area early. Let me ask the crowd here. You guys having a good time? Are you having a good time? Do you want to see some super slides with the pros? This ought to be something. Getting us started off. Draw number 1, entry 486. Looking down a smoking gun, shown by Katie Rose. That was Katie Rose and Looking Down a Smoking Gun. Getting us started off with a fantastic run is Katie Rose and Looking Down a Smoking Gun to a score of 145 1/2. Draw number 2, back number 484 is a scratch. Next to shoot down the runway here is draw number 3, entry 474, Revolver 45, shown by Keith Cedia. That was Keith Cedia and Revolver 45. Score for Keith Cedia and Revolver 45 is a 142 1/2. We're going to drag the show pen. When we return from the drag, we'll welcome in 2 riders. Draw 4 has scratched. Draw 5, Katie Rose, followed by draw 6, Taylor Van Malzen. As our tractor exits the arena, we are being led by Katie Rose on Looking Down a Smoking Gun with a 145 and 1/2. Katie's going to be our first rider in following the drag to see if she can best that score on draw number 5, entry 437, Best by Spook, shown by Katie Rose. That was Katie Rose and Best by Spook. Score for Katie Rose and Best by Spook is at 139 and 1/2. Next up to try to knock off that 145 and 1/2 is draw number 6, entry 442. Gonna check you out, being shown by Taylor Van Malzen. That was Taylor Van Malzen and Gonna Check You Out. Score for Taylor Van Malzen and Gonna Check You Out is a 143. As our tractor is exiting the arena, this next rider knows one thing: ride hard, ride fast. This should be exciting. Next in, draw number 7, entry 460, SM Genevieve, shown by Mike Cross. That's what we're talking about, Mike Cross and SM Genevieve. So let me ask you, did you all think that Mike Cross had one heck of a stop there? Do you think he might have taken the lead with that stop? That's not much excitement. Do you all think he might have taken the lead with that stop? How about a 148? 148 for Mike Cross and SM Genevieve. Our next rider is a Nonpro, going to try to knock these open riders off the perch. Draw number 8, entry 499. KR Surfs Up, being shown by Kenzie Moore. Wow. Kenzie Moore and KR Surfs Up, getting it done. Kenzie Moore and KR Surfs Up with a fantastic ride, coming in with a 146. Next up, this lady knows how to drop a horse's rear end and make a big slide. Give it up for draw number 9, entry 487, Vintage Chick Colina, shown by Katie Rose. Katie Rose and Vintage Chick Colina getting it done. Score for Katie Rose and Vintage Chick Colina is a 144. We're going to drag the pen. When we return from our drag break, we have 2 to go in this next set. Morgan Chapin and Mary Lee Gustafson. As our tractor exits the arena, our current leader is Mike Cross on SM Genevieve with a 148. We have 2 in this set, followed by a final set of 2 riders. Next in our open super slide, draw number 10 entry 412. Shooting for Benz, shown by Morgan Chafin. Give it up for Morgan. Very nicely done by Morgan Chafin and Shooting for Benz. Score for Morgan Chafin and Shooting for Benz is a 143 1/2. Next up is draw number 12 entry 429. P.S. Whizzing Colonel, shown by Mary Lee Gustafson. That was Mary Lee Gustafson and P.S. Whizzing Colonel. Score for Mary Lee Gustafson and P.S. Whizzing Colonel is a 142 1/2. We're going to drag the pen and we'll return with our final 2 exhibitors of the Open Super Slide competition. Our final 2 will be Savannah White and Katie Rose. before I call this next horse into the arena. Ladies and gentlemen, are you having a good time tonight? Are you having a good time tonight? I'd like you all to give a huge round of applause to Bennett Family Farms and Saiga Solutions for holding the Super Slide. Thank you very much. Give them a big round of applause. Come on, Michigan. Make some noise for Bennett Family Farms and Saiga. We're down to our final two in the open Super Slide with a 148 by Mike Cross and SM Genevieve to beat. Give it up for draw 13, entry 466, Chicks Fancy Footwork, shown by Savannah White. What do you all think? Was that awesome or was that awesome? Let's influence those judges a little more. What do you think? Was that awesome or was that awesome? Savannah White and Chicks Fancy Footwork. Score for Savannah White and Chicks Fancy Footwork is a 143 1/2. We are down to one. One rider to knock that 148 off the top of the totem pole. Give it up for draw 14, entry 404 DP. She's gonna shine, shown by Katie Rose. That was Katie Rose and DP. She's gonna shine. While Katie's getting her equipment checked, do want to let all our exhibitors know in both the non-pro and open classes that the top two, the champion and reserve champion, will come back here to the main arena to receive awards and pictures once the open has been made official. Score for Katie Rose and DP, she's gonna shine, is a 141. That does complete our open Superside class. I'll have your results momentarily. Once again, the champion and reserve champion of both the non-pro Superslide and open Superslide will return to the main arena for pictures and award presentation. I want to say thank you to everybody for coming in and supporting all of these riders. I hope you all had a good time. And more importantly, thank you once again to Bennett Family Farms and Saiga Solutions for sponsoring this wonderful class. These payouts are enormous. All the exhibitors appreciate it, and what a great time on a Friday night in Michigan. All right, here in about 5 minutes, we'll be ready for our awards presentation for our champion and reserve champion of our non-pro and open slide classes. Here are the results. In the non-pro super slide, 5th place with a score of 140, receiving a check. I'll give you a 6th place. 6th place with a score of 139.5, receiving a check for $353.60. Writing Not a Trashy Chick, congratulations to Ronan Leonard. 5th place with a score of 140, writing Let's Live the Dream, receiving a check for $397.80. Congratulations to Jetson Minter. 4th place with a score of 142, writing P.S. Wiz and Colonel, receiving a check for $442. Congratulations goes to Mary Lee Gustafson. 3rd place with a score of 144, writing KR Surfs Up, receiving a check for $839.80. Congratulations goes to Kenzie Moore. 2nd place, your reserve champion, with a score of 145, writing Smokin' Buckles, receiving a check for $972.40. Congratulations to Jose Alfredo Arteaga. And your champion of the Super Slide Non-Pro class, wire to wire, late entry, draw -1, with a score of 145 1/2, writing Voodoo Boss, receiving a check for $1,414.40. Congratulations to Holly House. So I will need to have Jose Arteaga and Holly House back for awards and pictures. Here are your open super slide results. 7th place with a score of 143, writing Gonna Check You Out, receiving a check for $269.40. Congratulations goes to Taylor Van Balzen. We had a tie for 5th place in the open super slide, each with a score of 143 1/2. Each will receive a check for $381.65. Writing Chicks Fancy Footwork, congratulations to Savannah White. And writing Shooting for Ben's, congratulations to Morgan Chafin. 4th place in our open super slide with a score of 144, writing Vintage Chick Kalina, receiving a check for $449. Congratulations to Katie Rose. 3rd place with a score of 145 1/2. Writing Looking Down a Smoking Gun, receiving a check for $763.30. Congratulations once again to Katie Rose. Your reserve champion, who came in and took on all the professionals, with a score of 146, writing KR Surfs Up, receiving a check for $987.80. Congratulations to Kenzie Moore. And your champion, with one hell of a slide, marking a huge 148 on SM Genevieve, receiving a check for $1,257.20. Congratulations to Mike Cross. Great show put on by everyone, but more importantly, thank you to the Bennett Family Farms and Saiga Solutions, because without them, the money would not be here. We would not have this competition. Thank you both so much for sponsoring. So as soon as the ladies are ready, do you want to do the non-pro first, Christina? Okay. Do you want the champ or reserve champ first? Sure. Reserve. Okay, we're going to do the reserve champion of the non-pro slide first. Jose Alfredo Arteaga, if you'd like to step into the arena to receive your awards and your picture. Congratulations once again to your non-pro super slide reserve champion, On Smokin' Buckles, taking home a check for $972.40, Jose Alfredo Arteaga. Next to receive award, we'd like to welcome in Holly House on Voodoo Boss, your champion of the 2025 Super Slide Non-Pro class. Congratulations, Holly House and Voodoo Boss. Congratulations once again to your non-pro Super Slide champion, riding Voodoo Boss, taking home a check for $1,414.40, Holly House. Next to receive their award, we'd like to welcome in your reserve champion of the Open Slide competition, marking a 146 on KR Surfs Up, taking home a check for $987.80. Congratulations to Kenzie Moore. Brett, you realize that she won about $1,800 in about 30 minutes. I think she's buying dinner tonight. About 8 seconds, $1,800 on $160. You can't get that kind of odds at the casino. 170 bucks and $1,800. What a return on investment. Congratulations to your reserve champion in the Open Super Slide, Kenzie Moore and KR Surfs Up. And last but not least, your champion of the 2025 Michigan Reining Horse Association Open Super Slide competition. Congratulations to Mike Cross, riding SM Genoveva, marking a 148 and taking home a check for $1,257.20. And quite honestly, you couldn't have written a better story than this. A fantastic run for a fantastic family. Congratulations once again to your Super Slide Open champion, Mike Cross, for owner Zuri Bennett, on SM Genevieve, taking home a check for $1,257.20.